Hey guys, welcome to another fabulous episode of the Chris and Kadie Show with yours truly, Boston Chris, and the beautiful and lovely Miss Kadie Lynn on my left, your right. It's episode 17. We're live on Twitch and we're also on YouTube, Spotify, etc., in the future. But we have a really cool show planned for you guys today. It's going to be the second week of Kadie's Corner, and also it is Kadie's week to do the game. So you're going to get a lot of Kadie Lynn today, which is good
So
because that means
essentially more nonsense.
that's right. That means I get to sit back and just enjoy the craziness that is Miss Kadie Lynn. But let's catch up a little bit. Kadie, how's your week been since I last saw
It's
you?
been good. It's been good. Working a lot, usual.
Yeah, I hear you. Tomorrow we are interviewing somebody named Scott Sean White, who's a fabulous songwriter from the state of Texas.
I feel like I've heard
You probably
of.
have. He's written songs for Cody Johnson and Brian Martin and
Okay.
some giant Texas artists, and he's a fabulous artist in his own right as well. Um, if you're checking your newsletter, well, no, I don't.
I need to.
I don't guess I talk about him until the next newsletter, which is coming out Tuesday night. But
I hope you know that you really matter to me because I have my email that I've had for like 10 years that I send all my bullshit to, and then I have my Gmail one, and I gave you my Gmail one.
I love you so much. Thank you. But yeah, if you guys are watching out there and you want to be part of this new newsletter, I would love that because we're just starting it, and whenever you start something, it's really slow. But
Mm.
I think Kadie and I are two of the people on there, and then I think Cool Me is one, and then we have two others besides me and you and Cool Me. So, but it's five, and that's a start, right? You got to have five before you get
Yes,
10.
sir.
So,
Yep.
but yeah, you guys get on the newsletter. That's a good way of finding out when all of our stuff is either live or coming to YouTube or wherever we are. I'm going to put all of my announcements on there. I'm also going to do like tips and tricks, things I've learned over the years as far as social media and especially YouTube stuff because I feel like even though I'm not a big YouTuber, I feel like I have figured out a lot of YouTube. Um, Perhaps not as good as I could, but um, somewhat,
More than I.
somewhat. But yeah, let's get into our stuff this week. I guess we're gonna start with our top five segment, and this week we are talking about our top five favorite female singers. Now, this is important to understand that we are talking about currently active singers. They have to be somebody who has released an album within, say, the last 5 years or so. So, Patsy Cline cannot make this list, for example, right? It has to be a currently active female singer, and it can be somebody from a band or, like, for example, Lizzie Hale could be one. She's currently active.
If they
Um,
haven't released an album within 5 years but are like touring and
if
stuff,
they're
that counts
touring,
too.
that's currently active. That's
Okay, like
correct.
active. Got it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. That's
I'm
correct.
like, shit.
So we'll
I don't
start
know.
right into it. A lot of people might be very, very surprised by my list. In fact, when I was making
I
my
was.
list, I was extremely, extremely surprised at the list I made because I only have one person on this list who could be really called country.
Yeah. Fun fact about that too. That's so I told you that I had to take off work last week. I was supposed to work her concert.
I'm gonna keep it real. I almost called in a favor for like I was gonna be like, yo, Kadie, get me some tickets, girl.
I could have. I was supposed to work it.
You could have got me tickets.
I didn't know you liked that person. I didn't know who the hell this person
Oh
was.
my god, bro. I almost
Yes.
messaged you. So, oh
I
my
could have,
god.
yes. I can get like 2 free tickets.
Okay. God dang it.
So for next time.
Next time. All right, anyway, we'll start with your number five. Who's number five, Kadie, for you?
So my list surprised me as well. Um I So this is Miley, Miss Miley Cyrus. I love Miss Miley.
Freaking hell
I'm not
yeah,
gonna say
bro.
she's like the most like She is the best vocalist technically. I'm not going to say that. She is great technically. I will say within the past probably 5 years or so, you can tell she's had a lot of vocal training, so
Mm.
she's even better than she used to be. But I just love her style. She's Miley, you know that's Miley. I love me a good voice that you can pinpoint to the person. So I don't like people that sound the same, and Miley's definitely not
Have you
the same.
seen?
So.
I want to say it's on Apple TV. Have you seen her home concert thing documentary that she
I've
did?
seen like I no I don't have Apple TV. I think you're
Oh,
right, it is on Apple TV. But I've seen like clips and stuff. You know,
so good.
I
So good,
know.
man. I'll tell you what, you can watch that documentary and not be a fan of Miley Cyrus and come out of that documentary as a fan of Miley Cyrus.
I love that woman.
And I feel like a
Love
lot of
that
people
woman.
don't like Miley Cyrus because of her, just her eccentricity, right? Like just being, I don't want to say crazy because crazy is not the right word, but just being out there, like, you know, not caring
Yeah,
what people think of her, not caring what people think of what she's wearing. And to be completely
yeah.
honest with you, it shouldn't matter. I mean, I'll keep it real. Like,
Correct.
yep, it shouldn't matter. But anyway, that's your number five. I absolutely love that. I hadn't thought of Miley, and that's why I love doing these top five lists because I'll do mine, you'll do yours. There'll be some on mine where you'll be like, God, I didn't think of her, and then vice versa.
I was thinking I was reading your list and I was like, I wonder if you thought about Miley. I did think about that.
I did not think about Miley, but at number five, I'm going to keep it real. I did not know who this person was until this year, and that really pains me. In fact, I'm actually going to change my top five right now. I'm changing it. Number five is going away, and I am replacing her with somebody else that I just thought about, and I would have been absolutely. Actually, I'm actually going to move number four down to number five, and then somebody else is going to go to number four. But I'm changing my list. All right, it's almost like Monday Night Raw here. We're changing it at the last minute. Number five for me is going to be Billie Eilish. Okay.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
absolutely love Billie Eilish. I know there's a lot of people out there that don't like her because they don't think she's strong vocally, or that she's strong lyrically, or that she's strong stylistically. And I disagree. If you try to just listen to what her and Phineas are doing in a presentation way with their music, it's so ridiculous. Just the little, like we call it layering now, right? When you're making
Yeah.
layers and turning those layers into a song.
Turning a song more into creation, I feel
Right.
like.
And you know, recently having talked to a lot of very, very well known and very, very successful songwriters, a lot of them are not a big fan of the layer process because they don't feel like it's something that can be replicated in a live way. And that's very true. But
Yeah.
in a stylistic way, in a creative way, as someone who I never would have believed that I'd be saying what I'm about to say. I absolutely love the layer process because there's so many different dynamics you can place within a song that
Yeah.
makes you feel in a different way.
Hmm.
And whether you want to say that's AI or not, I don't know. All I know is it makes me feel something. And having watched behind the scenes stuff with Billie Eilish and her brother, and them talking about why they're putting things in the places that they're putting them, it's a very, very tedious process.
Absolutely.
And I
And
love that.
another thing to add on to that, I said like it's more like a creation more than a song. Like this is, I mean, it's been done, but this is it really being done. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's its whole new thing. It gives you this kind of feeling that nothing else really does.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the only thing I can say kind of gives the same vibes maybe like some Deftones kind of thing. Like it's very like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's my kind of
I
stuff
just I
though. But
just don't see anybody else doing it quite to the level
no,
that
absolutely not.
Billy and Phineas are doing it, and that just makes her
And
stand out to
they're
me.
and look, it's not just one person either. It's the duo.
Yeah.
Those two together are like,
Mm-hmm.
because like you can maybe be like another person, but good luck being like two.
Right.
You
Exactly.
know what I
All
mean?
right. Who do you have at number four? Since Billie Eilish is my number five.
So I'm going to come out and say I do not hardly listen to any female artists. And not just that. Um, I really this list, like my number four, I listen to very select amount of music. What I do listen to, I like a lot. Their new stuff, I do not like. Um, but it would be Hayley Williams from Paramore. She is freaking phenomenal vocally phenomenal. Um, I've seen like late videos, like me and Jackson watched some videos of her live the other day, and she's still really strong vocally, but I don't know. I don't know if she's like damaging stuff, but she doesn't sound that great. What she didn't have, she had great. But regardless, number four. I think she's really great. I love her voice. Not as like different as Miley, but Haley, she has her own thing. Her writing is freaking awesome. I like the old stuff. I don't remember the name of the album, but the album that Misery Business is on,
Mm-hmm.
that album's just freaking awesome. And then the same album, The Only Exception and like All I Wanted, that album
Mm-hmm.
too. Great albums, like the old good shit.
Man, I'm
So
thinking of so many
um
good ones now. Golly, man. Hmm.
see, I had to scroll through my music for a hot minute.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm like everyone I listen to is a dude.
Well, we were definitely going
Uh,
to do a top five guys too, very shortly. Definitely.
I'll get that in like 0.2 seconds.
So I've just changed my number three. I've moved her down to number four. And at number four now, I have Sierra Farrell, um,
We were talking about.
who we were talking about that I could have seen if I would have just sent a text. To be fair, I probably wouldn't have been able to go anyway, just because of lack of gas money. But
Yeah.
it did cross my mind. I wonder if I could score tickets for this. But anyway, Sierra Farrell. If you are a traditional country music fan, which I am, if you took modern style and modern technology with a female voice and brought it back to the 70s, that's Sierra Farrell. She is just fantastic. Um, Gosh, she's so good. Like, I could literally just put on her mix on YouTube anytime, and literally it'll put me in a different mood. Like, she's just one of those artists that no matter what mood you're in, she's perfect for that mood, if that makes sense.
So when I work concerts, which is pretty regular lately, I go just listen to whoever the hell I'm supposed to be working. I was supposed to work I Spice last night. Thank God they moved me next door. Thank God. I worked some K-pop band. It's fine. It's pretty good. But thank God I didn't have to do I Spice. Um, fucking horrible concert too. Just brutal. Everyone
Oh.
there probably was just awful because you got to think about the crowd that comes in
Mm-hmm.
with the artists. Anyway, I listened to Sierra and I listened to tidbits. I'm talking like top five songs. Listen to them for a minute or two.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad I didn't go. I'm sorry. I don't. I can't.
You don't like
And
her?
that's very rare for me to say. Like I just can't. I need to go back and listen. But I turned it on. I was like,
Why don't you
oh
like her? I'm
fuck.
I'm curious why you don't like her though.
I remember it being her voice. I didn't like her tone.
Okay.
The tone of her voice is, if I remember, is not whiny but very like tinny, like.
It is. It is. It can be. Yeah.
I remember that. I mean, this was a couple weeks ago when the schedule came out that I listened to it, but I remember that, and I'm fine with the old country. I think it's really cool, but I think like there was some lyrics that I don't think I cared for either. Like just some nitpicky shit that I do and
Mm-hmm.
only with women. I don't know.
No, and that's fine. No, I Sarah's definitely somebody that I can understand why people won't like her as well. But
Yeah.
like the same reasons why what you just gave is partly why I do like her. That's what makes her different from
Yeah,
me. You know what I mean? But yeah,
for sure.
who is your number three?
I have Pink. I love Miss Pink. I honestly am very surprised she's not higher on my list. I've been in love with Pink for years. When did that song shit, I used to sing it. Oh my god.
There's so many songs. She is so
I know.
fucking
It's off
sexy,
the
bro.
album like the blue and like, oh my god, I've sang this song for like 3 years. What's the name of it? Try. God, try. You gotta get up and try. That song.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I remember when it came out, and I think that was the first time I heard Pink. And I remember I was in the car on my way to school. I had to have been fourth or fifth grade. Um, at that point, I was still listening to like classic rock and stuff. Fourth and fifth grade is when I went to public school for the first time and started hearing other music.
I mean, I'm gonna keep it
But
real. I have Pink on my list as well, but man, with Pink,
I see.
the song "Funhouse," the
Yes.
video for "Funhouse,"
Yes.
I was ready to have her children. Do you understand? Do you understand? When this sexy ass woman is crawling on her hands and knees talking about coming through the doggy door, yo, what? What? How many kids would you
Yo,
like to have, ma'am?
honorable mention. Um, I don't think she's a great vocalist, but on that note, check out In This Moment.
Okay.
That's basically the metal version of Britney Spears.
So you have Pink at number 3. I have
Mm-hmm.
her on my list too, but she's not at number 3. The person that I completely forgot about, and if I had left her off of my list, I would have lost my mind because literally a day does not go by that I don't listen to her at this point. We are talking about Chapel Roan, and I love the fact, straight up, I love the fact that Chapel Roan is exploding right now because I learned about her late last year from her NPR Tiny Desk concert, which I have literally boosted their views probably by 400% by myself. Um, this woman just shows up at their Tiny Desk concert with a damn cigarette stuck in her hair, and like everybody in her band, like not only are they wearing lipstick, but the lipstick is like stuck on their teeth too. Like I was just so blown away by their frickin' presentation. And then her,
Okay, so I don't know who this person is.
you don't know Chapel Roan? What? Oh my
I'm
gosh.
looking. I feel like I've seen pictures.
She's so good, Katie. Oh my gosh.
I'll
Um,
check it.
yeah, she's
I'm
ridiculously
very
good.
late on
So
things.
she's
Very,
a
very late.
member of the LGBTQI community, and a lot of her songs are what they call lesbian anthems. Okay,
I feel like I'm looking at more pictures and I feel like I've seen some.
she has blown up really big within, say, the last 3 months or so.
Oh
Um,
yeah, see, I'm usually like 5 or 6 months behind on
yeah,
things.
prior to the last 3 months, she was kind of percolating, but like the last 3 months, she's just. And I'm here to tell you, she is going to be bigger than Billie Eilish. She's going to be bigger than Olivia Rodrigo, who was used to be on my list. This girl right here, I'm telling you, other than say like people like Beyonce, Taylor Swift, like that level of fame, I think she's gonna
Mhm.
be close to that, but not quite there. Like I think Chapel Roan is good enough to where everybody's gonna be knowing her name.
I need to check her out. Yeah, I need to check it out.
She's
Seems
incredible.
very intriguing to a
Yeah,
person
just one
like
album out
myself.
right now. Just one album out. Um,
Okay.
but oh my
I'll go
god.
check out the Tiny Desk.
So yes, please do, because that was my first introduction to Chapel Roan was the Tiny Desk, and then the name of her record is I think it's called Confessions of a Midwestern Princess.
I love that.
Yeah, such a good uh, record title, but yeah, man, just so many good songs. Red Wine Supernova is my favorite probably, but anyway, we'll
Okay.
move on. What's your number 2?
Also, hold on, Red Wine Supernova, like play on a champagne supernova. I love that.
Exactly right.
Anyway,
Yep,
I actually played that song. You've probably heard me do
I
it.
have.
Um,
You have to learn a
so
Chapel Roan song.
I'll do Champagne Supernova and then I'll do Red Wine Super.
Oh my gosh, your mom would lose her shit if you ever did a Red Wine Supernova.
I don't know it, so I'm just pulling shit out of my ass right now. So
it's a lot of her songs. So she is gay. She's a lesbian,
yeah.
and so a lot of her songs are talking about lesbian lovers,
Oh, nice.
and they're very, 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 very. She's very vocal in them.
Love to see it.
Very vocal.
What number are we on?
Number 2.
Oh, okay. So this person I had forgotten about. And randomly, I don't know what happened. I was just sitting, I'm telling you, Boston, I was looking. at my Spotify. All the songs, like just 3,000 songs. I'm very picky, so 3,000 is a lot for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just scrolling through and I'm like, there are no females in here. And randomly, um, this one song got stuck in my head by this person. I was like, oh, I forgot about her. So it's Lacey Sturm from Flyleaf.
Okay.
Do you not know who Flyleaf
No, I know who
is?
Flyleaf is. Yeah, I just didn't know her
Okay.
name.
She is freaking phenomenal. But anyway, all around me got stuck in my head. The I can feel
Mm-hmm.
you. Like I was just sitting here, I was like, uh, her, duh. But I love her so much. I have a I don't know why I do this, and I need to stop. I let my own personal bias get in the way of um me liking things. So like I did this is okay. You can call me gimmicky, I guess. But when it comes to rock and like that's not metal, but she screams a little bit here and there. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
she
Like
does.
it gets pretty heavy and stuff. And I found out they were Christian. I'm like
Mm-hmm.
that don't go hard no more.
Yep.
I'm like that don't go hard no more. Like I want to think about you hating people, not spreading
So that
love.
was my reaction. That's why when you said Flyleaf, I was like, huh? Okay.
Yeah, we used to do I'm so sick.
Yeah.
So
Yep. All right. So my number two is the same as Katie's number three, and that's Pink. I just feel like Pink has been around forever. She's a
oh
phenomenal
yeah.
vocalist, phenomenal writer. And to keep it completely honest, if it wasn't for the existence of who is on my number one, I don't know how Pink couldn't possibly be number one on anybody's list. Like I said, other than
Yeah.
the existence of who my number one is. And I'm going to throw one honorable mention here as well, just so my wife doesn't divorce me, and that is Amy Lee. I completely forgot about Amy Lee, but
I forgot about Amy Lee
yeah,
too,
but
but unfortunately
if
she probably wouldn't be on my list.
if I don't mention her here, though, my wife might just disown me. So
I just thought about Lady Gaga too. I'm kind of
yeah,
mad that I
Lady
didn't think.
Gaga, Lizzie Hale belongs in the mention here. I love her "Familiar Taste of Poison" song, man. That song is just so good. Um, you don't like Lizzie Hale? That's funny. What is it about Lizzie Hale now?
Gimmicky,
You think
not in the
she's
right way.
gimmicky? Okay, all right, fair enough. So, who is your number one?
Okay, so okay. The name of the band only comes out of my mouth every 2 seconds, but we got Miss Tatiana Schmaluk um from Ginger. Go figure. I love this woman, man. I have never loved a person like I love her. I get married in less than 2 months. I'm like, I've never loved somebody like I love this person that I've never met. I got to see her. Okay, where's it at? Was it House of Blues? Yeah, it was at House of Blues. Oh my god, I just like I saw her outside of her tour bus when we were walking in. I was like,
I'm gonna have
oh
to
my
check them
god,
out. I'm looking them up right now. Wow, I've never heard of them.
Ginger,
Yeah.
J I
No, I'm looking.
N
Yeah,
J
I
E R.
got them right here. This is incredible. Ukrainian metalcore band.
They're fucking awesome. You need to check them out because she sings a lot
Definitely.
and she
Yeah.
screams a lot. She does them both pretty it's about 50-50 usually. There's some songs that are more like ballads and stuff, but
Hmm.
like one of their normal songs is about half and half. She's fucking incredible. When COVID hit, I found her on my long binge on YouTube, so, like everyone did. Um, and I found her and I was just like I told you, like I don't like Hailstorm. I do not like The Pretty Reckless. I do not like Spirit Box. Very, very picky when it comes to females. I don't know why. I'm a hater. I'm slightly a hater. I'm sorry. It
You know,
just is what it
it's
is.
funny you say that because typically speaking, I don't normally gravitate towards one gender over another when it comes to music. However, here, say the last 9 months or so, I would say probably 90% of what I'm listening to is female singers. Um,
I think what it is I don't compare But like, if you do anything that I don't agree with, I'm done.
Right. Well,
Like,
I'm
I'm just
kind of
like,
there. I'm there in a way too. Like, yeah, I can see that big time. But like, yeah, I would talk to my wife and I'd be like, I don't understand why I'm gravitating towards female singers so much here lately.
well, and
Um,
not only that, I listen to a lot of like really hard rock and metal, and a majority of that is
it's
men.
men, right, right.
But even so, like if we're talking about like pop or whatever we're talking about, most of it's gonna be men for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I'm very, very picky and very and but for some reason Tatiana, she just like grabbed my soul. So in 2020, when COVID hit, I found her and I that's when I learned how to scream. I was like, I'm learning how to scream. I want to be like that bad bitch right there.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to watch her live
I definitely will.
because
I'm excited
you
to
would
do it.
lose your shit.
Yeah, so that's cool. That's cool. It's and that's
I
why
love
I
her.
want to do a lot more of these top 5 music related lists too. Just because I always enjoy finding new people for me. They're not
Hmm.
new, but like they're new to me. For example,
Right.
have you ever heard of Steam Powered Giraffe?
No.
See, my point exactly.
Also, God, I don't remember the girl's name, but the song "Pretty Alright" that we talked about last week.
Mm-hmm.
I've been listening to it a lot,
That's
actually.
awesome, Caitlin Mavagna. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
she's incredible. Oh my gosh, it's not just that one song either. Like the more you listen to her, the more you fall in love. She is just so
See,
good
I
at.
need to go listen to more stuff because that's the only one I listen to
Yeah,
with you. So,
I can't wait to talk to her. I still have like a whole month or whatever it's been until she's on my schedule, but yeah, I'm excited to talk to her. And I'll keep it real, man. Like she's so low key and nobody knows who she is outside of probably Wales, and maybe they know quite heavily who she is over there, but like here, nobody knows who she is. So that's why I'm so excited about it because I get to show people who she is, like not only in
mhm.
Texas, but like, God, I love that so much.
I thought that would make you happy.
Yeah, it makes me happy when when I find a song, I tell somebody else about it and they like it too. That just it's so
Mhm.
cool. But
And
yeah,
listen,
there's
it don't happen much, and it's a female.
yeah, that's true, and she's not your genre either.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
In fact, I was telling you when we talked about her last week that she reminds me of like a Adele Chapel Roan clone. Like if you mix those two. So she's
Hmm.
got the Chapel Roan vibes that I was telling you about.
Right.
Hmm. So anyway,
I
back to my list. My number one is I'm a big Swiftie, so I gotta go with Taylor Swift. Again, it's down to the writing. It's not so much the vocals because obviously Taylor's vocals aren't the world's greatest vocals. But again, you add the presentation, the most successful touring artist in the world, probably the most successful songwriter in the world right now. Um, and I mean, and honestly, all of that she does outside of music too is another reason why I love her so much. Um, but honestly, there's not really much difference stylistically between her and say Miley Cyrus. I feel like they're
I was
cut
I
of the
forgot to
same cloth.
mention about my number one. So everyone on my list, and it's gonna come down to it because, like I said, I especially when it comes to females, I can ignore like bad habits and stuff in male vocalists for some reason. But when I hear anything, especially in recorded, because like if it's recorded and it's on your album, like
Hmm.
it's probably worse. Um, but I just can't. So everyone on my list, I chose because they're not technically perfect, but they were very close.
Right.
And my number one on the list, I would honestly say she is probably all the way around, probably one of the best in the world.
Well,
Because I mean, give me an amazing singer that also knows how to scream. She's got like everything in here going on.
well, your list is
So,
definitely more diverse than mine was. Mine is 4 pops and a but that's what I'm listening to right now. Really, when it comes to
mhm.
music, is more pop music, female related pop music. But like country music, I'm still listening to like Tyler Childers and
Mhm.
Jason Isbell, like that style of music, like roots music, is really what I'm
Mhm.
really digging when it comes to male singers. But with the female singers, for some reason, I'm really digging like the like the candy shop pop. I guess I don't even know what the hell you would call it, but yeah, that's where my list is. Just to go over it again for the segment that ends up coming. I've got Taylor Swift at number one. You've got what was her name again? Tatiana.
Tatiana Schmaluk.
And then at number two, I had Pink, and you had who? Flyleaf.
Lacey Sturm.
Number three, I had Chapel Roan, and you had Pink. Number four, I
Yeah.
had Sierra Farrell, and you had who?
Haley Williams,
Haley
Paramore.
Williams. And number five, I had Billie Eilish, and you had Miley Cyrus. You definitely had a much more diverse list than me, for sure.
Like I said, I'm picky. Regardless of the music, it's just the vocals.
Yep, I
I
love
don't
it.
know
I
why.
love it. So, are
I
you
get
ready
it.
for Katie's Corner?
Yeah, so I
All right, hold on. Let me know when to start it because I have to go into a different screen and all that.
okay, I was just gonna say I had a million things in mind, and then I forgot. So I had to try and re-remember a while ago. So this is pretty oh, this again, nonsense. Here we go.
All right, here
Ready.
we go. Guys, enjoy Katie's Corner. Here we go. You are good.
Hi. Hi. So, welcome to Katie's Corner. Katie's bitch bit. So I know I started out with dark humor last week, and while I thoroughly enjoyed, um, I figure it might not be everyone's thing, and this is very early in the show, so I was like, you know what, we'll just dial it back again. So we got shitty dad jokes. another another thing in my wheelhouse. So my girlfriend just told me she had a Brazilian. I'm not good with numbers, but that sounds like a shit ton to me. Okay, that one's mildly racist, so I'm not saying that one. Oh, stop it. I gotta say this one just because, I mean, the community will love it anyway. Did, did you know the first trans people came from Egypt? It was when daddies became mummies. That's actually pretty good. Okay, I got one more. I got one more. I'm reading a horror novel in Braille. Something bad is about to happen. I can feel it. I'm so stupid. I can't stand it. Okay. So, I just I don't even remember what I did last week, but I got a few topics that I just want to talk about. It's Katie's Corner. I can do whatever the fuck I want, so good luck with that. Um so I have couple music things. I'll do a couple other things first cuz that's kind of what's been going on lately. So I've been working a lot, like I said, but I had a couple new students today. They've been giving me a lot of freaking students. I have I think 13 students now, so that's freaking cool. Um, but I had a student today that she was with another teacher, and basically she was just having like a really hard time coming out of her box. Like she would sit and do like warm-ups and stuff, but like wouldn't sing. Like was just like petrified, terrified. Anyway, she had been there for probably a month with this other teacher, and they decided to have her do like a trial run with me. She's 13. She's so freaking sweet, and her mom is so sweet too. And she was just like, as soon as she walked in the door, like the most bubbly thing ever. Like she was just like all about it. She sang. We really got into it. We did an hour. Normally it'd be a 30-minute uh lesson, but we did an hour today just for like the introductory kind of thing to see if she wants to stick with me. And she was like, I love this so much. She's like, I feel like I learned a lot just today, and like they're super excited. And it makes me really happy. I even tell all my other students this. I don't know if anyone out there is looking to be taught anything, whether it's music or any random thing that you would have like a one-on-one or tutor, anything like that. Um, for me, I've had multiple vocal coaches in the past, and sometimes like you just got to find the right, like therapy. Cool. You have to find the right person for you. And if it's not me, that's fine. But like today, if it does end up being me, that makes my day. So I thought that was pretty cool. This 13-year-old girl was. I heard her telling her mom when she was walking out. She was like, "I really love today. I had so much fun." And like they were talking about like taking her out of the school and everything because she was like miserable almost. But anyway, that I didn't say that. Anyway, so on another note, I'm getting my studio up and running. So I know if y'all have like been keeping up, I think this is probably like episode number 3 that my angle's kind of different, maybe something like that. But that used to be my backdrop over here, Mr. Skeleton, back here. But I moved things around. I'm actually at my desk now. My desk had cords upon cords upon pens upon headphones, a million things on this desk. Just all my studio stuff that I had not set up yet because I'm a bum. Um, and I work a lot. I've been working a lot for years. And while I've had the studio stuff in here, all my guitars are in here, all that kind of stuff. I never got set up, so now I got it set up. Pretty good. I'm starting to mess around with some stuff. I'm getting excited. I have a friend coming over tomorrow that messes around with a lot of stuff like that, and I'm gonna get some pointers and tips. So that's gonna be really cool because I have everything to do it and all at my disposal, and I don't use it, so it makes me mad. So I'm excited. I'm gonna start using it. More music related stuff. Excited because I'm gonna probably throw in here like if some people like release music that like we probably won't make a topic about, probably won't talk about. I'm probably just gonna add it to my little case bit bit. Or Katie's Corner. So I picked 2 that I'm not gonna pick metal stuff unless it's just something I just like lose my shit about. Which is quite a bit, but unless I'm like everyone needs to listen to this. So Snow Patrol, I feel like Snow Patrol can be like anyone's kind of music. Everyone knows Chasing Cars. They released like a new EP just about. It consists of 3 songs. It's All, which is the one they just released. I think they've been releasing them as singles, but like adding it. I don't know how that shit works, but it's all like in the same thing. But they've been doing. I don't fucking know. They released 3 songs. And then they did All, which is the most recent one, and then they released This Is the Sound of Your Voice in the beginning. I love all these songs. What I love about Snow Patrol is just they like Billie Eilish, like we talked about, it's just a certain kind of vibe that like I feel like Snow Patrol, it's not as, prominent or anything, but it's just like that. They give like a bittersweet vibe in every single song that they have. It's just that kind of like nostalgic, kind of bittersweet thing that they give you. Um, but This Is the Sound of Your Voice. That song has, I mean, those lyrics, I give me chills. Chills. I mean, you should listen to it, Chris. Um, so there's that. I'm gonna round this out pretty quick. I love Snow Patrol. I've always loved them, but those 3 songs. The beginning too, is the other one. It's pretty more compelling to other people. This Is the Sound of Your Voice is like a really ballad, like singer songwriter kind of thing. But all of them are great. Y'all should go check them out. Also, everyone gives this dude shit, and I kind of do. Didn't used to, but kind of do now. That would be Chris Daughtry. Um, they okay. First of all, what the fuck have y'all? They have released a new album, and this is just the album I know about. They could have been like this for the past 5 years without my knowledge. When I was just getting into rock, I came across Chris Daughtry, Creed, 3 Days Grace, Breaking, the basics. Um, basic. So I loved Daughtry, and if some certain songs come on, I'll still listen to them. But I just hopped right out of that, just like I did Creed. God. Um. Anyway, so I saw last year. So Breaking Benjamin, like I said, they have always been one of my favorites. They were my first concert, and I've seen them again since then. But I saw that they went on tour together. I was like, what? That makes no fucking sense. Because Breaking Benjamin kind of gets heavy. They get pretty heavy. They scream a little bit. Like, they get pretty heavy sometimes. Anyway, I went and checked it out. What the hell? So it's like I don't know if I like it or if I hate it. Cause like I like Chris Daughtry and like the whole thing he was doing before, like his old stuff, like It's Not Over kind of era. That's pretty good shit, you know? But now it just gives like, oh, dad was in a band 30 years ago and he's trying to make a living out of it. It gives that vibe. And they sound like they have like a Breaking Benjamin vibe now. Like it's really weird. Like the music and everything, but Chris Daughtry is the same. Nothing has changed there. It's just, I don't know. I saved a couple songs just to kind of, because I didn't know how I felt. One of them was A Reckoning. I don't like the lyrics in any of them. I don't like these weird, like positive lyrics. I don't like weird positivity. No, I'm kidding. It's just like, it just seems like go follow your dreams. You got this. Nothing can tear you down. And like that, I'm tired of that shit. Tell me you want to rip someone's head off, and I will so jam to that. No, but I don't know. It's like because it has like the ass behind it, like Breaking Benjamin does, but like Chris Daughtry himself hasn't changed, so it's kind of like a weird vibe. I don't know how I really feel about it, but worth mentioning. Y'all should go check it out. That's the end of my bitch fit.
Welcome. So, one thing a lot of people may not know about Chris Daughtry, since you brought him up, Chris Daughtry is the third highest selling artist in the history of American Idol.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I knew he was on American. I
Mhm.
was, and then we got Carrie Underwood and Kelly.
Yep,
Probably are the other
that's
two
right.
there.
Very good. Well done. Yeah. So the top
I know
two
my
are
shit.
the top two are easy to figure out. It's the next
Mhm.
three that will usually throw
And
people
then we
off.
have what's her face? What's her name? God, I can see her face. She's freaking beautiful. Tell me who the other three are, and I know she's in there.
So number three, obviously, is Chris Daughtry. Number four, I don't think anybody would guess. And
Who?
and then number five, I'll get to number four in a minute. Number five is Fantasia, Fantasia Barrino.
I don't
Um,
know who that is.
so Fantasia was amazing. But no, number four was Clay Aiken.
Really? I
Yeah.
was thinking about she's still relevant. She was an actress for a while, and God, I can't remember
Are
her
you thinking
name.
about Lauren Elena?
No,
No.
God, no. Oh my God, you just
Oh, Jennifer
made me
Hudson. You're thinking of Jennifer Hudson.
Jennifer Hudson.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Jennifer Hudson's actually 11th in record sales. Yeah.
What?
Yep.
Well, I'm about tired of these random
So
emotes. I just did a thumbs
just
up, and I didn't mean to do that.
top 10 are Carrie Underwood, Kelly Clarkson, Chris Daughtry, Clay Aiken, Fantasia Barrino, Ruben Studdard, Scotty McCreery, Kelly Pickler,
Yeah,
David Cook, and Philip Phillips.
I love Philip Phillips.
So that those
He's a vibe.
10 all have more record sales than Jennifer Hudson. Um,
Well, Jennifer Hudson hasn't really done a lot of music, but she did
right.
like acting for a
But
minute.
she's the only one from American Idol that I know of that has won an Oscar. So I'm pretty sure she's the only. But anyway, let's move
Interesting.
on to our game of the week. And this week it's going to be
Oh
Kadie Lynn
shit.
playing this. So we're going to
Let's
go.
keep Katie talking.
That's right.
Damn.
Yep, Katie. All the entire spotlight is on her this week. All right, let's get into this.
Yeah. Okay, I'm getting my damn sticky notes.
All right, voila, there we go. Okay, I lost you, Katie. Hold on. Let's see if we can get her back. There she is. All right, can you see the wheel on your screen?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So the game you are playing this week is... Okay,
Oh
we
shit.
do World's Greatest Expert every week, so I'm going to respin it.
Yeah, I figured you were going to. That's why I said, oh shit.
Because, like, we still haven't even gotten Illuminati yet. We're not doing
Oh,
World's Greatest. Golly. It's going to go on World's Great. Okay, we got to think about it this time.
God, here we go again.
All right, so think about it means that we will come up with a topic, and Katie must turn that topic into a conspiracy theory. And so let me get our topics out. There they are. Here we go. What is our conspiracy theory this week? It is on... Oh, my God. Sandwich. Your conspiracy theory has to include a sandwich. All right, so before you start, let's close out of this. And we
do like a little like ad break. You need to start doing that while I write something.
a little ad break. We don't do ad breaks around here.
I know.
All right.
Uh,
Take it away whenever you're ready.
What the fuck? I can only think of one thing, and it's because it actually gets on my nerves. But it has to be about a sandwich, not just the contents of the sandwich.
It can have anything to do with a sandwich, as long as a sandwich is part of your conspiracy theory.
Honestly, the shit I'm gonna touch on, people might actually believe already.
What's up, Fubar? What are you saying acorn for, my dude?
They might be talking about me. I'm a little nutty.
No. Anyway. Acorn is Louise's her gamer tag or her screen name.
Oh, cute! I didn't know that.
Yeah, Unexpected Acorn is her brand name.
I love that.
Yep. When Katie was trying to think of a beautiful woman that sings, aww. Yeah, she's
pretty beautiful.
She is pretty beautiful. I agree. And y'all ain't heard her in the shower. Oh my God. I'm just saying.
I don't think I've heard her sing at all.
She doesn't like her voice. I think it's cute, but she doesn't like her voice.
Well.
All right, so tell us this theory that you have, Katie.
Okay. Sandwiches are trying to kill you. The government made sandwiches back when the government wasn't even a government in the 1800s. They came up with the idea of sandwiches and all to choke you to death and to block your arteries and just essentially kill you in all the ways possible. Kill you with the processed meats. They were like, let's slap that shit on there. Let's choke them out with some bread sticking in the roof of their mouth and not coming off. So see, this is a personal vendetta. I don't know, man. I really think, like, you eat enough processed meats. Do you know what they say about processed meats, right?
That they're processed?
Like, there's all kinds of... Yeah, and there's all kinds of weird shit in there. You don't know what's in there. You don't know what's in there. They're trying to kill you. They're trying to kill you with all these hormones. That makes me want to go a different direction, but I'm not going to go that way. Processed meats are turning everyone gay.
No way! That explains the purple hair.
All the hormones in the processed meats. No. But man, bread too. Like, it don't matter what kind of bread. And all sandwiches have to have bread. I'm sorry, you can't have like a lettuce sandwich. That's not the same thing. And if you do lettuce,
I hate doo-doo. I hate when lettuce doo-doos.
That makes you think like wiping your ass with a piece of iceberg.
Let's do it, bro. That's a TikTok video.
Anyway, it don't matter what kind of bread. Normal, traditional white bread, wheat bread, just sticks to the roof of your mouth. Won't come out. Will not budge. You gotta like, this like, the bitch. And then if you got like sourdough, you know, like they do like Schlotzsky's and shit, you gotta chew on that shit so hard for it to break down. And then once you do break it down, it's not actually broke down. You're just gonna choke on the shit. It goes in your lung, and there you go, dead by sandwich. And then all your arteries are clogged from processed meats, and you're wiping your ass with the fucking lettuce.
She got so close to the camera, bro.
Listen here.
Oh my god. I love
But
you
yeah,
so much.
government back in the 1800s created sandwiches to try and kill people off. And now sandwiches are a really big thing because of overpopulation. So that's why we have places like Schlotsky's and Subway. And have you noticed that Subway is usually all bread? That shit is all fucking bread.
It's so funny. It's so funny that we got
bread.
It's so funny that we got this as a topic because two of our topics today, one is about Subway and the other is about Mountain Dew being banned everywhere except the US. Oh my god, bro. Oh gosh. All right. Y'all beware of the dreaded sandwiches out there, guys, and don't use frickin' lettuce with fecal matter on it. Oh, that was so good. All right, speaking of Subway.
Speaking of the cursed sandwiches.
All right, do you want to do 2 and 3 and I'll do 1 and 4? Or, like, how do you want to do this?
I need a breather, so...
Well,
yeah, I'll do 2 and 4. You go after the sandwich boys here. I'm going to lose my shit about it. You can't get me started on the sandwiches again.
All right, you do what you got to do. I'm going full screen here, so you can do what you got to do.
Beautiful.
All right, guys, so our first topic this week is about Subway and Subway joining the value meal battle with a new price on its footlongs. Now, guys, as far as I can remember, and as long as I can remember, which, mind you, I'm almost 50 years old. That's not very long. That's neither here nor there. But as long as I can remember, there's always been some kind of special price on the footlong, right? Like, I remember the $5 footlongs, and I mean, I'll keep it real. I have been to Subway within the last year and been really upset that I didn't get a $5 footlong. And the people there were like, yo, we ended that in 2012, my dude. So, one thing I have learned is that specials do not last forever. But anyway, this article comes to us from MSN. Subway's footlong sandwiches are getting a new price beginning August 26th, which, believe it or not, is today as we record this. The restaurant chain is chopping the cost of its footlong subs to $6.99, down from as much as $14 in some markets. Pause. Can we talk about the fact that these sumbitches have gone from $5 to $14 in some markets? Let me tell you something. I ain't buying nothing, no matter how long it is, for $14. Unless they say Jersey Mike's on that sumbitch. You feel me? But anyway, I digress. Now, this marks the company's foray back into the value menu wars as fast food restaurants try to win back customers who say food prices are too high. No, you have to win back customers because you keep hiring pedophiles to push your shit. Can we talk about that? Huh, Jared? Huh, Dr. Disrespect? I digress. That's not part of the article. But we will continue on. Perhaps it's not your prices, but your pedophilia that's causing people to go away from your restaurant. I don't know. Anyway, the offer, which is only available for purchases made through Subway's app. Yeah, here we go. Now they're like, oh, you're only going to have to pay $7, but please do A, B, C, and D before we'll let you have this 50% off offer. So first, download the app. Second, find a delivery driver without calling us. Third, yeah, no. We need to talk about apps at some point, too, on this show. And for real, like what the best apps are for food. But
Agreed.
anyway, this is only available for purchases made through Subway's app or the website with the code 699FL. So now you have to have a license plate number in order to get a $7 footlong, right? If you don't.
Hold on. Can we just acknowledge the fact? Take off a 9 and we have 6'9" foot long.
69 foot long, y'all can see where Kadie Lynn's brain is at today. Anyway, look.
I looked at that and that was the first thing I thought.
Here's the other issue. This shit is going to end on September 8th. So it's not like, look, okay, Subway's been around a minute. My guess is that most people have at least heard of or tried Subway at this point in time, right? This is not a new restaurant we're talking about. It's not like some marketing genius came along and was like, yo, I don't think they've heard of us. Maybe we should give them a $7 footlong so that way they will come back. No, we already know of you, my dude. It's not like you're going to give us a $7 footlong and that's going to make us like you all of a sudden.
See, I loved Subway for a hot minute, for like a second, and then I forgot about it.
See? My point exactly.
And then I started making my own fucking sandwiches at home.
So basically what they're saying is we're going to enter the market of the value menu market, but we're only going to do it for 2 weeks. So if you want, basically also, guys, this is only going to be on select sandwiches, right? So it's not like you can go in and get any footlong for $6.99. No. This is an offer for more than 20 different sandwiches, and customers can also create their own custom subs at no extra charge. But keep in mind, this is only until September 8th, and only in certain markets. So certain sandwiches, certain markets, certain dates. What?
Maybe... I don't know, man. See, unfortunately, I grew up in the time where... Okay, since I have been paying my own bills and buying my own shit, this is normal. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's worse.
And
mildly.
If you are a value shopper, like we have to be, like you and me, right? We have to be value shoppers, right? So we take advantage of those promotional material from Brookshire's and rollbacks at Walmart and the redeem.
Yo, that motherfucker on sale.
Well, for example, I'll give you a good example here, right? So we use Pizza Hut app. We use the McDonald's app. Those are the two prominent restaurants in the town that we live in. So we use them a lot. We always order through the app because the app will give you points. And then points will give you free shit, right? Well, at the end of the month, when we got no food in the pantry, by God, we got free pizzas in the app at Pizza Hut. And you can bet your ass we getting free pizza on the 28th of the month. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. My point is how is this going to help anybody? Well, from August 26th to September 8th, at certain select places that we're not going to tell you about, and certain select sandwiches that we're not going to tell you about, you can get a $6.99 Subway sub that is a foot long as you meet certain criteria, use the app and put 699FL on your license plate, and then try to find the delivery driver that just happens to be driving by when you see him, accost him, and get him to tell you the capital of Ecuador in less than 3 minutes. What? Why do we have to do all this shit just to get $1.50 off, bro? Like, no.
For real.
But anyway, this move follows special summer menu rollouts from other fast food chains that have struggled in recent months to grow sales and draw inflation-weary consumers into their stores and restaurants. In announcing the new footlong price, Subway acknowledged Americans' struggles with the rising cost of living, as well as their heightened sensitivity to food prices. So we're going to give them a deal, but only for 8.5 days.
Dude.
That'll get them through the long fucking stretches of summer.
First of all, unfortunately, I'm sitting here thinking it said hot up to like $14. A footlong would last me like a whole day. if
Look,
I only ate the foot long.
there is
So
absolutely no chance. Look, there's less than zero chance that I am paying $14 for a Subway sandwich. I don't give a shit what you put on it, bro. Like, I come from the land of actual subs, where they actually make good subs up there in the Northeast. Like, no.
Unfortunately, I'm the person of opportune. Sure.
I love the whole always fresh shit too. Like they got their fresh ingredients covered by a sheet of plexiglass. Like, what do you mean?
I'm the kind of bitch. I decide where I'm going based off if it's off the highway or not. I don't care what it is. Okay, I will go to fucking Subway and I will walk in there and be like, okay, that's 2 meals for me.
Unless it's bougie, right? Like Red Lobster. You're willing to drive across town for that shit.
Right off the highway.
I don't care if Red Lobster's off the highway. That's some bougie shit. All you can eat shrimp. I'm going to put a bitch out of business today. No, I saw this shit from Subway and I was like, bro, they act like they're helping us out, man. Like, oh, we understand. Prices are so rough right now. Here, have a Subway sandwich for $7, which is, by the way, still too expensive, right? But we're only going to do it for 2 weeks, bro. Like, what do you mean? No. Well, we have to get people back in. We have to get people back into our restaurant. Yeah, perhaps it's because A, you keep hiring pedophiles, and B, your food sucks. I'm going to keep it real. Out of all the places I know that deserve to go out of business, Subway is number 1, bro.
You just want to arson the whole franchise.
It needs to look. If we can get rid of Subway, just so Red Lobster can still exist, we need to make that happen.
Yes.
Because I ain't never seen a pedophile out here telling me to eat shrimp.
I don't know, man. That sounds like some Family Guy shit.
Oh my God. This has gone off the rails. Okay.
I lost you.
$6.99. Anyway, guys, when we started this story, I was after a promotional opportunity from Subway, but clearly that's not going to happen at this point because I am not a pedophile, so they will not be sponsoring me, right? What? Oh, you fixed it.
What is happening?
I don't know.
I completely lost you.
Today's diner is stretched more than ever, and too often that means a trade-off on quality, variety, or flavor to find an affordable meal. Subway North America President Doug Fry said in a statement, "My dude's name is Doug Fry. They don't even serve fries. Perhaps that's how you get people into your restaurant." Anyway, some consumers are increasingly opting to dine at home as restaurant prices have surged since the pandemic. The cost to eat out has jumped 28% since January 2020, outpacing the overall inflation rate of 21% over the same period, according to government data. That's prompting some chains to cut their prices in an effort to lure diners back through their doors, such as McDonald's offer in June of a limited-time $5 value meal. The fast food giant's global sales slumped in the second quarter, marking the first decline for the fast food giant since 2020. Management attributed the slowing foot traffic to low-income consumers paring their spending on food outside the home. And that's what happens. Corporate greed comes through the door, and then it trickles down to the consumer. And then the point-of-sale places, whether they're franchised or not, are the ones that are going to suffer. And that's why places like Red Lobster and Subway and all of these other places are they're struggling. And honestly, it's not their fault. It's the people above them that's, driving these prices. But the fact of the matter is, it's all about supply and demand. If If the demand or the supply is too expensive, then the demand for that product is going to go down, and then
Mm-hmm.
you're going to be out of business. So you have to adjust. The problem these
Yeah.
places are having is adjusting from August 26th to September 8th is not going to get it done, my dude. And then on top of that, you know, you're trying to say the reason why you're doing this is because of prices and consumer burnout, which is essentially what they're saying, but yet you're making the consumer exhibit effort in order to get the fucking discount. Use my
Yeah.
app or go to the website and put a code in. No! If you really care about the consumer, you give the
Just
fucking
fucking do
discount.
it. Yeah.
Do not expect effort from the people that you say are burned out on eating at your restaurant. Period. That's my point. All right. So,
Are you sure?
yeah, topic number 2 is what, Katie?
I'm gonna be reading this thing and then it's gonna go out.
If it goes out, I will let you know and we'll take it from there.
Okay. And then I'll go yell at him. Okay. Topic number 2, or subtopic number 2. JLo, Jenny from the block, was never from the block. Pulled trigger on divorcing Ben Affleck. No prenup, no settlement. That's nuts. Anyway, here we go. Jennifer Lopez has God. JLo has done what has seemed inevitable. She filed for divorce from Ben Affleck, TMZ has learned, but there are major twists, including the symbolism of when she finally decided to do it. JLo filed legal documents Tuesday in LA County Superior Court, but they were not filed by a lawyer. Jennifer filed a per meaning by her. Yeah, that sounded weird to me. And without attorney, so she did by herself. She lists the date of separation as April 26, 2024. The couple got married in Vegas on July 16th, 2022. However, today, which was August 20th, is also very significant in Benefor lore. Why do I keep making two words one? Benefor. Benifer lore. God, that is kind of a mouthful. Uh, and what the fuck is Benifer? Nothing anymore. Um, so this marks the second anniversary of the huge and more traditional wedding ceremony that they held in Georgia. So it hardly seems like a coincidence that Jennifer filed today. Now, here's the real shocker. JLo does not say in her documents whether there's a prenup, and sources with knowledge tell TMZ that there is indeed no prenup agreement. Um, that would mean whatever earnings or profit Ben and Jen made during their nearly 2 years of marriage is community property. For instance, since they tied the knot, Ben starred in Air and Hypnotic and produced The Instigators. He also just wrapped filming The Accountant 2 a few days ago. As far as J-Lo, during their marriage, she shot the movie Shotgun Wedding and The Mother, This Is Me Now, and Atlas. I don't know about any of those except Atlas. Holy crap, do you see this picture right here?
Yeah.
Do you see her foundation?
Yeah. Yeah.
That is so bad.
Yeah.
Look at her ear and her hairline
Yep.
and how white that is compared to her face. That is so bad. Okay, anyway, what's shocking, this is JLo's fourth marriage and Ben's second, and you would think a prenup would be more than obvious. Apparently, they thought this was a forever marriage, but it didn't work out that way. According to the documents, Jennifer waived spousal support and is asking the judge to deny Ben such support as well. Since they do not have children together, there are no custody issues. Now, for the final big twist, you would think everything has been hashed out money wise before she filed, but our sources say that this is not the case. Um, TMZ broke the stories. They put their marital home in Bev Hills up for sale. Ben bought his own house in Brentwood, and she is currently looking for a new house as well. As we reported, they have been trying to hash it out. to hash out settlements for months. And their sources say those talks are continuing, but they have become increasingly. How the fuck do you say that?
I don't know.
Acrimonious?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. That looks like a scary word to me. Anyway, to the point at times that they're not even speaking to each other. I was not well educated, okay. Anyway, so why then did JLo decide to file while they are still battling over money? Well, even though it doesn't matter legally who files first in a no-fault state, sometimes PR concerns are involved when it comes to who files first. And that be all.
So, Jennifer Lopez has been married 4 times and now divorced 4 times. She has also had at least 3 other very, very well-known relationships break up as well, including a prior one with Ben Affleck, by the way.
Yeah.
So perhaps the problem is you, JLo.
Jenny from the block was never from the block.
That's the way I always looked at that, like with like Elizabeth Taylor, for example. Like I always thought Elizabeth did this way before your time, I know, but it's kind of before my time, to be fair, also. But Elizabeth Taylor was married and divorced like 8 times. Married and divorced to the same guy at least twice that I know of. And so, like at some point, you gotta look in the mirror and say, you know what? Maybe I'm the problem here.
Maybe.
I don't know.
But when you got a lot of money, you can fix a lot of problems, but not that one.
Yeah, and you would think that you get married in 22 and divorced in 24, and she also had her first 2 marriages and divorces. The marriage happened, and then she was divorced within a year. You would think
You would think they do a fucking prenup.
Yeah, you would. Well, it's not even the prenup idea. It's the idea of whatever caused you to want to have a divorce was there when you got married. It's not like you got married and then 14 years later you just had enough. I can't stand this person anymore. That's not the situation here. It's essentially, wow, I love you so much, let's get married. Oh, God, I hate you, let's get divorced. Within the span of a phone call, essentially. Right? I don't know, man.
No, I feel you on that.
So weird. For me, like, celebrity marriages are always so cringe because everybody knows they never work out. Like, for every Tim McGraw and Faith Hill, there's 4,000 Benefers, right?
Blake and Miranda.
Right. Well, I mean, Blake's just a fucking
That
dog.
was sad.
Look, let's put it this way. Blake Shelton cheated on his wife with Miranda Lambert. And then Miranda Lambert was like, yo, it's so good. It's so love. I'm going to marry this cheater. And then fast forward 8 years or whatever it was, and he cheated on her with Gwen Stefani. Like, what did you expect to happen? You married a cheater.
Yeah.
That's a good example, though. Like, Blake Shelton, like, the guy is a cheater. He's a dog. And you can bet your ass eventually he's going to cheat on Gwen if he's not already. Like, that's just, that's the nature. So, like, you can't marry that person or fall in love with that person and then marry them and then be surprised when their nature is their nature, right?
Yeah.
That happens a lot, man. It's like, come on, you knew this. You knew this. I'm going to buy a car without an engine and expect the car to start. Right? All right, so Queens of the Stone Age has decided to cancel 2024 tour dates to prioritize Josh Holmes' health. Is that how you pronounce that? Homie?
Tom's?
I'm going to find
out. I don't know.
I'm looking it up. Hom. I guess it's Hom. Oh, wait a minute. He says it rhymes with mommy, so homie.
Josh Homie's death. Death. God, health, no.
Okay, so homie. He's not dead. He's not dead. So I actually, speaking of that real quick, Katie, I'm not going to say any names, but somebody that I recently interviewed today, who's well known, very well known, announced the death of Bob Seger today. Bob Seger is not dead. That's my point.
I was like,
He's not dead. But this person announced his death today. Yeah. It's since been taken down, but like, we got to do better. Anyway. So, almost a month after canceling additional European tour dates following Josh Homme's emergency surgery, Queens of the Stone Age has wiped the remaining 2024 tour dates from their schedule to prioritize Homme's health. In a post on X, the band shared its regrets in having to cancel or postpone all of their upcoming dates. QOTSA regret to announce the cancellation and/or postponement of all remaining 2024 shows, wrote the group. Josh has been given no choice but to prioritize his health and to receive essential medical care through the remainder of the year. In early July, they canceled 8 European tour dates so Homme could return stateside for emergency surgery. Every effort was made to push through and play for you, but it is no longer an option to continue, they said at that time. Later that month, they canceled an additional 7 performances slated for August. Now, the collective is postponing performances in Boston, Cincinnati, Chicago, and Madison to 2025, and is altogether canceling festival appearances in Mexico City, Memphis, and Bridgeport, which makes sense because you can't exactly just reschedule an entire festival.
yeah.
Although it's unclear what type of surgery Homme underwent, he's been open about his health struggles over the years. Last year, he shared that he'd been diagnosed with a form of cancer in 2022 and underwent surgery to have it removed. In 2023, Queens of the Stone Age released In Times New Roman, its first album in 6 years. Shortly after, the group announced the End is Nero tour for North America, followed by a set of European dates. This year, the band scheduled dates in Australia and North America, as well as some of the European shows they had to cancel. So, a lot of people canceling tours and just ending touring in general because of health, which I guess is good because back in the day that would never happen. They would just keep going until they died. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it's nice to see people taking care of themselves and understanding that health is more important than going through with shit like that.
Always.
I've never really been a huge fan of Queens of the Stone Age. I know that they've had a lot of longevity. They've been
Yeah.
around a long time.
Same.
And they definitely have been a leader in rock music for sure, for a long time. I mean, they've been around forever.
Oh yeah.
Really, really long time. I'm
That
just
is sad though.
trying to go look to see how old Josh Homme is. Let me see here. So he's only 51, so he's still somewhat young.
Yeah.
Just a little bit older than me. Let me see here. Queens of the Stone Age has been active since at least 96. Yeah, 1996 was their first year in the music business. So that's almost 30 years they've been around. Yet another one of those incredible rock bands from Seattle, Washington. So many bands have come from the Pacific Northwest. Yeah. Anyway, I hope he gets better. I hope they're able to get back on the road, because everybody knows if a touring musician is not touring, they are not making money, and
Yeah.
it's very difficult for them to pay their bills at that point. So,
Absolutely.
if you're a fan of Queens of the Stone Age out there, let us know in the comments below your favorite memories, your favorite songs, and maybe some hope for return to health for Josh Homme. Katie, what is our fourth topic for this week?
Okay. So, Mountain Dew has been banned in nearly 30 countries. Find out why. Plus, more American favorites that are illegal elsewhere. Okay. Consumers in the United States put their trust in organizations such as the Food and Drug Administration and the Department of Agriculture to keep packaged foods, fish, and livestock production safe. But to what standards? Why did I sound like a news reporter? Many American food additives, think flame retardants and suspected carcinogens, interesting, and production standards that have been approved domestically are banned or strictly regulated abroad. This is all in addition to the U.S.'s liberal policies and on genetically modified organisms, which are more restricted or banned outright in other countries as well. What chemicals are lurking in the ingredients of some of America's favorite foods? What production practices are standardized in the United States but illegal in other parts of the world? Do I have to click on this? What?
I mean, yeah, we
Hello?
could. Let's go and see.
Let's do it.
So this is from stacker.com. Let's see if we can even figure this out.
Oh, wait. Hold on. It shows.
I'm not even seeing
Oh,
it.
interesting. So listen to this. Can you hear me?
I can, yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure my shit's working right. So when you go, it has a picture of the Mountain Dew. It has the arrows. When you use the arrows, so
Oh,
farm raised salmon. People in the United States love their salmon. However, farm raised salmon available in America is fed whatever the fuck that is to give it its coral color.
astaxanthin.
There you go. Salmon containing this petrochemical is banned for consumption in Australia and New Zealand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dairy with RBST or RGH hormones, milk, and treated with these artificial hormones that stimulate. Anyway, the FDA says there's no difference in the milk produced by cows treated with the hormone, but countries like Canada and those in the European Union ban it.
Yeah. Like you just go through these, it's crazy. Yeah, this
Yeah,
Mountain
Mountain
Dew
Dew.
uses BVO,
Well,
and
baby.
BVO is very, very, very banned everywhere. Like for example, BVO is not allowed in Europe at all. I don't believe
What
there's
is that?
So BVO is brominated vegetable oil. It's essentially vegetable oil that's been mixed with something called bromine.
Oh shit!
So bromine is the element
I
that's
know what that
found.
is.
Yes, it's found in like chemically flame retardant
Yeah.
material. Yeah. So yeah, that like bromine leads to like memory loss and nerve problems, shit like that, which is why the European Union doesn't allow it. Yeah.
Yeah, I like smart people.
So that's.
Little Debbie Swiss rolls.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna name the shit. They are it contains dyes yellow 5 and red 40. While they are now permitted in the European Union, they have to carry warnings that they cause adverse effects in children. They are also banned in foods for infants and young children. No such warning is required domestically. Norway and Austria have banned the chocolate treats outright. They also have Frosted Flakes, Honey Bunches of Oats, and Rice Krispies
Mm-hmm.
that
So
contain
Fubar says that
VHP.
Ritz crackers are banned elsewhere as well. Ritz crackers.
No,
Mm-hmm.
not just that, drumsticks,
Mm-hmm.
like the ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
What? From seaweed? What?
Yeah, there's a
It's
lot
for the
of
texture
of
for the ice
stuff.
cream. What the? Damn it, we're ruining my life. I just had a drumstick like 2 days ago.
So Skittles as well. They are ingesting food dyes yellow 5, or we are when we have Skittles yellow 5, yellow 6, and red 40. Those dyes have been known to have adverse effects on young children. They are banned in foods for infants in the European Union, and foods that contain the dyes must carry a warning label.
So Lucky Charms, I'm looking at Lucky Charms. It has also yellow 5, yellow 6, and red 40.
Yep. Yep.
Lucky Charms are banned in Norway and Austria. They're permitted in the U.S., even though they are known to cause itching and hives for some. Interesting.
Katie is going to grow an extra toe now since she had those drumsticks. Well, to be fair, if she does grow an extra toe, that would be super fucking metal, and that would probably
Okay,
help her.
you want to hear something? This is gonna make everyone laugh, even though it embarrasses me. So
Cereal can cause hives, bro. What the fuck? It can. Yes, it can. Yep. Oh, Katie,
and
you froze again. Let's wait. I can hear you, but your camera froze. So a lot of this really is like the yellow 5, the red 40, the yellow 6, the dyes that are heavily banned in other countries.
what the hell?
There you are. You're back. Farmer John pork breakfast sausage links are
I
also
saw that.
banned in the European Union and Japan because they use an enhancer called BHT, which is a suspected carcinogen that is banned in the European Union. And you know what's funny though? Like all these foods that are banned in Europe and Japan and in Australia and New Zealand and places like that for being carcinogens, their cancer rates are equally as bad as ours, if not worse. So, like, what? Like, they're banning all this food because of being cancer causing, but they still have as much cancer issues as we do.
Yeah. This has Pillsbury Doughboy biscuits.
So, yeah, there's a lot of food out there that is not allowed in Europe. It's the sandwiches, that's right. Yep. Sandwiches are killing people in the United States.
Uh-huh.
And it's all because the bread gets stuck to the roof of your mouth. It just chokes you out because you don't have any digestive fluid in your mouth. Golly. Are you ready for the weird but true news, Katie? Do you want to
No.
go? Do you want to go first or second? I will go first. All right.
I forgot.
So my weird but true news story comes from AOL.com. That's right, it still exists. And we are talking about a long-hidden family scandal in the Jamestown colony that has been revealed 400 years later by ancient DNA analysis. So first things first, we have a child poverty and food insecurity issue in this country. So I would really like to know why we are testing 400-year-old DNA samples from the Jamestown colony when we could be feeding kids. But or solving homeless issues with that money. But I digress. Let's go on. So, an investigation of human remains from the 17th century British settlement in Jamestown, Virginia, which, by the way, I have been there, is really cool, has unearthed a long-hidden scandal in the family of the colony's first governor. Thomas West became Jamestown's leader in 1610. He was joined there by 3 of his brothers and several other male relatives. Recently, DNA analysis of 2 skeletons from unmarked graves in a Jamestown church revealed that both people were related to West. The DNA also showed that the men were linked by shared maternal lineage. That connection led researchers to documents proving that one of the men, Captain William West, was illegitimate, born to Thomas West's spinster aunt Elizabeth. Though Captain West was raised as part of the high-status West family in England, details of his scandalous birth were deliberately stricken from the family's genealogical records, and lingering whispers of the scandal may have been one of the factors that drove him to seek his fortune in the American colony. Researchers reported August 13th in the journal Antiquity. The findings demonstrate how genetic data in combination with other historical evidence, quote, can help bring to light narratives that were forbidden or shameful in the past, unquote, said Dr. Christine Lee, an assistant professor of anthropology at the University of Mississippi, in an email. This in turn gives us a better understanding of how individuals circumvented societal rules, said Lee, who was not involved in the research. So back to my original point about childhood hunger, poverty, and homelessness. Mississippi is the poorest state in the country per capita. And the University of Mississippi is doing DNA analysis from the 17th century. Anyway.
Hold on. I'm gonna go tell Jackson to turn his Xbox off. I'm gonna kill him.
You do that, I'll keep reading. Researchers found 4 unmarked graves at Jamestown in 2014. So this is a 10-year project at this point. In an Anglican church that the colonists used from about 1608 to 1616. Superior craftsmanship of 2 coffins suggested that the people they held were important members of the colony. One was even buried with a spangled military sash fringed in silver. These burial details, along with age estimates for the 2 skeletons and historic documents, indicated that the remains in the better-made coffins were those of Captain West, the owner of the sash, who died in his early 20s, and Sir Ferdinando Wenman, who died at age 34. Jamestown records named both as the governor's kin, but only Wenman's status as a first cousin to the governor was described, according to the study. The relationship between Wenman and West was also unknown. The next step for the scientists was to sample and analyze ancient DNA, or A-DNA, from the skeletons, which is when the investigation made a surprising turn, said study co-author Kerry Brewelhide, a skeletal biology specialist in the Department of Anthropology at the Smithsonian National Museum of Natural History in Washington, D.C. The A-DNA took us in a very unexpected direction, one we never would have gone without, Brewelhide said in an email. Now, degraded over 4 centuries, the ancient DNA was in poor shape, so the only conclusive results were in the mitochondrial haplogroup, a matrilineal part of the genome, said study co-author Dr. Edwin Hardy, a lecturer of human evolutionary biology at Harvard University. I'm glad you didn't read this, Katie. You might have struggled with this.
Well, I don't know, because half of it's been cutting in out, so...
While there wasn't enough DNA to show immediate family ties, Wenman and Captain West both shared the haplogroup H10E. This commonality indicated that they were likely close relatives on the maternal side of their lineage, which surprised the study authors who analyzed the genetic material. They had assumed that since Captain William West's last name was West, and that West was the last name of Ferdinando Wenman's mother, that their relationship would have been on the paternal lineage. Makes sense. However, the ancient DNA gave the anthropologists a direction to start searching in. That finding guided researchers toward documents mentioning Captain West's female relatives, which eventually led them to a previously overlooked court case from 1616 regarding the beneficiary of West's will. He had left his belongings to Mary Blunt, another aunt of the Jamestown governor. In the legal documents, the researchers found their proof. Court records stated that Mary Blunt had raised Captain West on behalf of her unmarried, deceased sister, Elizabeth. Oh, crazy. Now, the coded language and absence of formal documentary... You know what's funny? Look. They did all this DNA research, right, to find out that the DNA was more closely related maternally or matrilineally than it was patrilineally. And they already had a court document from 1616 that told them that already. Look, we don't believe this piece of paper 500 years later, so let us check the DNA. For what purpose, bro? Like, you already know. They're already telling you what happened and who it is. Like, oh my God. Look, I am a big proponent for science and history and shit like that. I believe in that. But golly, they waste a lot of time, bro. Like, why are we even doing that? You already have court documents. It's not like somebody is like making some kind of stink about this, or like it happened 20 years ago and somebody's like, trying to sue or something. This is 400 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God. Absolutely crazy. Anyway, even though the ancient DNA was incomplete, it did yield enough evidence to show an unexpected relationship through their female lines. So unexpected that they have court documents telling them that this existed.
Oh my God.
I can't believe we found this. This is nutso.
Back in the day, you had to be rich to learn how to read.
Can you believe that sandwich bread that's stuck to the roof of my mouth? I do not. Let's test it. I promise you, it's sandwich bread. I remember putting it there myself. Oh, your words don't matter to me. 12 years later, yep, it's enriched wheat. She bought it from Brookshire's in fucking Oklahoma on July 12th, 2022. Oh my God, man. All right, Katie, what's your story? Weird but true news story for you this week.
Food that is fatal, like the sandwich.
What a surprise. At least we're staying on message this week, right?
On brand, baby. So, New Zealand Food Bank distributes candy made from a potentially lethal amount of methamphetamine. I saw that, and I was like, woo, boy, let's do that.
All right, pause. Just real quick before you go. So you know the trouble my mom had this past week.
Yeah.
So she started becoming better, right? Just to give you guys an outline before Katie gets into her story, she mentioned methamphetamine, and I thought I would tell this story because I think Katie will get a kick out of this. And I think if I put it in context, I think everybody else will too. My mom started having stroke symptoms a couple of days ago. This is why I haven't been on stream a lot, you guys. That's why, okay? Because I have to be available to go pick her up from the hospital, so I haven't been streaming. But anyway, we found out that it was because of a drug interaction with something that a doctor wasn't supposed to prescribe her and did anyway. And so she started coming down from that medicine and started becoming normal probably about yesterday or so, right? So we have a family Facebook group chat with the 5 of us that live in the house. And so we're always kind of fucking with each other and everything in the group chat, right? As you will with family. And so when my mom started making sense in the group chat again, instead of like all this like hieroglyphics that she was putting out, my son Toby says to me, "Dad, you need to test her with math." And my mom says, math or meth? And I said, well, which would you rather have? And she said, and I quote, "I don't do drugs, and you know that, Chris." I said, well, fair enough. What's 2 + 2 then?
I love that. I love that.
Anyway, go ahead, Katie. I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, I love that. My cheekbones hurt now. Okay. Anyway, New Zealand Food Bank, meth. All right, let's go. We're on one today.
I'm telling you what, bro.
Okay. Wellington, New Zealand. AP. A New Zealand charity working with homeless people in Auckland. AUCK.
Nope,
Auckland.
you got it. Yep, that's correct. Yep.
unknowingly distributing candies filled with a potentially lethal dose of methamphetamine in its food parcels after the sweets were donated by a member of the public. Auckland City, me. I'm taking fucking meth to the kids.
That's when you put air quotes up. A member of the public.
Public.
Oh, man.
Anyway, Auckland City Mission said Wednesday that staff had started to contact up to 400 people to track down parcels that could contain the sweets, which were solid blocks of methamphetamine and close to candy.
Golly. Oh, man.
Man, if I was on drugs, I'd be doing that shit. Anyway, I'm like, here, guys, have some candy.
Golly.
Anyway, 3 people were treated in the hospital after consuming them, but were later discharged, authorities said. The amount of methamphetamine in each candy was up to 300 times the level someone would usually take and could be lethal, according to New Zealand Drug Foundation, which is a drug checking and policy organization that first tested the candies. Ben Burks, a foundation, I don't know how to say his last name, a foundation spokesperson said, disguising drugs as innocuous goods is a common cross-border smuggling technique, and more of the candies might have been distributed throughout New Zealand. The sweets had street value of New Zealand 100. It has a dollar sign, but I don't New Zealand dollars, I guess. Anyway, $600 per candy, which suggests that the donation by an unknown member of the public was accidental rather than deliberate attacks. $608 US.
Golly.
Holy shit.
Oh, man.
God.
Netflix needs to get down there and make a show out of this shit. Am I right?
I just imagine, here's what I imagine. Like, for example, like Futurama. Have you watched Futurama?
I haven't.
Shit. So there's one of the robots, and I forget his name, but he's like, like all prim and proper, and he's rich, and he comes out of the corners. He's gold. He's a gold robot, and he's like a couch. And he has like this, like the leaf crown looking thing on it. And he's, kind of guy. I imagine, and he does a lot of illegal shit. I just imagine this motherfucker being like, guys, do you want some candies? Over here, like the Monopoly man running around.
So you're saying that the Futurama gold-leafed robot is the random member of the public?
That's just what I think of. That or like a Monopoly man. I don't know, some just goofy fucking character coming up in here.
Do not pass go.
Weirdo.
Go directly to jail.
In a suit, a hat, and a monocle did this.
We are inventing a New Zealand villain, a super villain. Oh, man. The Monopoly man. Put it in the candies.
Oh.
We can get $608 US on the black market. That is for only one, too. Oh, my gosh. We have come
that was a good one. I'm glad I picked that one.
Yeah. We have come to our main event topic of the week. Man, this episode has been fun. And getting through this main event topic is going to be a little bit crazy, too, because I have really strong feelings about this. I feel like this is the 21st century version of something that has always been happening in our the tapestry of society, and we will talk about that. But we are talking about OnlyFans, and not necessarily the viability of OnlyFans as a career, although that is going to be something Kadie and I talk about, but also whether it should be legal for a career to essentially fire somebody for having an OnlyFans account. This is called workplace discrimination, or what was it that I found? Employment discrimination. That's what it's called. employment discrimination. And so I am kind of on both sides of the fence here before we even begin. I can understand why perhaps a business would not be or a business, or, I mean, really a lot of the times what we're seeing is schools that are dropping a public teacher because they have an OnlyFans. For some reason, that seems to make the news more than other careers dropping people. I don't know why that is. I have an inclination as to why that is, or speculation, and it's simply because teachers don't make as much frickin' money, so they have to supplement their income, which is a completely separate issue, which we should honestly be taking care of that as well. But for some reason, I'm sure Kadie has seen this too. That seems to make the news more than, say, a factory worker, right? With an OnlyFans. It's always a teacher that you see on the news.
I have seen an article that, like, this person got fired from their job because of OnlyFans unless it's a teacher. That's the only ones I've seen.
And so I have 3 picked out that I'm going to kind of pour over a little bit here, or not 3, but 2. The first one is again, it's just freaking British Columbia. Actually, I do have indeed 3 of these. Actually, now that I think about it, the first one was a teacher who resigned, and I'm very well familiar with this teacher, not because I'm part of her OnlyFans account, but because there is, I believe, a documentary about her on one of the streaming platforms, which I have seen, and that's where I got the idea for this topic for the show. I thought this would be a good discussion. But her name is Brianna Coppage. She's 28 years old, and she is in the, let me see here, I believe she had a high school teaching job. She was in Missouri. Okay, I'll just read the damn article. How about that? A Missouri-based OnlyFans model who resigned from her high school teaching job when her adult video platform was exposed has been fired just days after starting a new gig. Okay, now Brianna Coppage, who is 28, barely made it a full work week as a community support specialist at Compass Health before her new bosses discovered her OnlyFans account, claiming she, quote, violated social media policy, unquote. She said that she lasted 5 days before they put her on leave and subsequently fired her, again, after only a full work week. Coppage claims, and here's the issue that I have with this particular story, she claims that she was open and truthful about all her past job experiences and the reasons for leaving, but they only did the digital background check after they offered her the job. Quote, they admitted that they didn't call my references or Google me before they hired me, Coppage added. They claim that I violated their social media policy but will not respond to me with how I violated it. So in this particular case, she was a high school teacher, which is not a very glamorous job. She's not getting paid a lot for that. So in order to survive, she's a good-looking woman. So she gets a OnlyFans account, which, if you're not familiar with OnlyFans is a subscription-based model for typically it's porn-related content that is behind a paywall. Typically, I say typically because it's not all porn-related. There is PG and less related content on OnlyFans.
Like cooking shit and all kinds of shit.
Some people do use it like a Patreon, and it works well for that. And so that's the stigma that OnlyFans gets as well, because a lot of people use it as a porn related paywall. And that's what this lady was doing. She was using it as a supplemental income. And she stayed being a teacher, A, because she was really good at it, and B, she really loved it, right? But she wasn't making enough as a teacher to pay her bills. So there's a lot of different issues at play here. But this particular story is about a new job. Again, she resigned from her teacher's job because essentially they made her choose between her OnlyFans career and her teaching job. The school district made her choose. And so she chose OnlyFans. I mean, she's making 6 figures at least at OnlyFans. But she still wants to work, right? So, I mean, which is cool. A lot of places to go with this. Now, the new place is doing background checks on their employees after they hire them. That's the first issue. What are you doing, bro? What is the whole point of an application, an interview process, and all of that? And then you offer them the job, they take the job, and then you do the background check.
Yeah, that's fucked.
Yeah, that sounds like a lawsuit to me, and it sounds like she's going to do quite well on that lawsuit. Because, yeah, that's not how that shit works. So that's the first story. The next one I wanted to talk about, because, again, the stigma is that this is always young girls. It's always really good-looking women that are essentially selling their wares. That's not me saying that. That's essentially people that have the most criticism for them, that they're selling their bodies and blah, 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 blah. But no, that's not indeed the case. Here's my second story. Wisconsin University chancellor is fired over an ongoing porn career with his wife as, quote-unquote, sexy happy couple. That was the name of their OnlyFans. Okay? Now, Joe Gao is a former chancellor of the University of Wisconsin in La Crosse, Wisconsin, said his termination, violates his First Amendment rights and the school's own policy of freedom of expression. The longtime chancellor has been fired after his porn career with his wife came to light. Joe Gao, who has been chancellor since 2007, was terminated Wednesday, this is back in December of 23, by the way, by the University of Wisconsin's System Board of Regents and placed on paid administrative leave effective immediately. However, as the tenured faculty member, Gao will eventually return to work in a faculty role. He had announced this year that he wanted to move back into teaching as a communications professor. Now, university officials learned that Gao and his wife, former UWLA La Crosse professor Carmen Wilson, had been making pornographic videos together and published 2 books together about making adult films. Now, while the couple used pen names for their 2 published books on Amazon, which are called Married with Benefits, Our Real-Life Adult Industry Adventures, and Monogamy with Benefits, How Porn Enriches Our Relationship, they weren't very secretive about their adult entertainment endeavors. They used their real photos on social media profiles where they went by the moniker Sexy Happy Couple. Their social media pages also advertised their videos as available on Pornhub and OnlyFans. Now, on their Amazon profile, they describe themselves as a married couple who serve in executive positions at 2 well-known organizations in the U.S. On X, their bio read, passionate plant-powered couple cooking, conversing, and shooting with top adult video stars. Visit our loyal fans and OnlyFans sites for fully explicit scenes. They also have a YouTube channel under the same name that appears to show cooking videos with adult film stars. And their books were published in 2016 and 2018. Gao said his termination is a violation of his First Amendment rights to freedom of speech and expression. He says, I think it's very shocking that the Board of Regents would completely disregard my First Amendment rights and my wife's First Amendment rights, and also their own policy on freedom of expression and freedom of speech, he said. This is very unexpected. I wanted this story out there, too, because this couple is in their 60s. All right? Very important that people understand.
Well, no. You said college professor, right? Or
yeah.
College.
Yeah.
So I will note.
Not just a professor, but a chancellor.
Chancellor, that's what you said.
Yep.
So also that, because I know a big argument with the teachers is going to be the children. Everyone in a college is of age. Usually.
I mean, it's not a good argument. I mean, it truly isn't, because, number one...
That's going to be a lot of people's argument, so...
And that's fine. So here's the deal, right? If your child is being taught by Brianna Coppage, I believe is her name...
Yeah.
And that child somehow finds that teacher's OnlyFans, it's because you have failed as a parent.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And so essentially what you were trying to say is um, I don't want my failure as a parent to possibly happen, so we must get rid of her. Now, there are also teachers of the opposite gender out there, male teachers, that are
Mm-hmm.
also on OnlyFans. Katie, how many articles did you find of a male teacher being
None.
fired for being on OnlyFans?
None.
Not one, right?
Mm-mm.
That's curious to me. Now, at the top of this segment, when we started this, I was very vocal in saying that this is essentially the 21st century version of something that's been happening for a very, very long time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, for as long as I can remember, teachers have been supplementing their income in other ways other than teaching. Would you agree with that, Katie?
Oh yeah.
It's called stripping, right? I mean, I'm just keeping it real. It's unfortunate, but this is what this is. OnlyFans is essentially the 21st century version of being in a strip club. The difference
Yeah.
is this is digital,
Mm-hmm.
right? So for me, I feel like OnlyFans is better because it's safer for the woman. It's safer for
Yeah.
the consumer. There's never any contact, so there's not very infrequently will there be violence involved, where you get that a lot in a stripping
Yeah.
environment. So it's definitely safer for the woman, safer for the guys that are doing it as well. Because if you do go on OnlyFans, there's a lot of dudes on there as well, doing the same thing. And as long as there's a market for this kind of thing, then people are going to make a career out of it. And it just bothers me that places feel the need to not keep those things separate.
Yeah.
Places meaning the schools in the most point, but like
Yeah.
I can understand that schools and other employers as well are kind of adding this social media kind of thing into their policies now.
Yeah.
So you really have to be careful when you go into a job um, and read because whether you like to believe it or not, employers do not like freedom of speech and they do not
No.
like freedom of expression.
No.
You know?
I remember I had one job where like it was monitored. Mine was not like monitored, but like they'd go look at it, you know, a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was this one chick that she was like never coming into work and saying, "Yeah, I'm just sick." When she went out the night before and she was hungover, always
Mm-hmm.
got caught
Yeah.
because social media.
Yeah. And I feel like that should be against the law. You know? That's
Keep
just
your
me.
nose where it fucking belongs.
Well, I mean, again, like the example you just gave, like we're kind of going off the tracks a little bit, but I feel like that should be against the law. Like if I call in sick, that's between me and you. Like that's like the policy is typically like if I tell you I'm sick and I'm not feeling well and I can't come into work, and then you find out that I went out the night before, that's neither here nor there because I went out
Yeah.
the night before on my own fucking time. And if I went out the night before and that's what caused me to be sick this morning, that's why I can't come into work. That's not your business either, employer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like going in and stalking somebody's social media
It
just seems pretty cringe to me.
I I don't I think it's a touchy subject just because of like where a lot of people sit on it.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I don't really give a flying fuck. I don't really care about much. You know, just live your life. I'm gonna live mine. I don't really care about
Mm-hmm.
anything else. I will say, um, it concerns me. It really does. I would be fucking terrified to be not even regardless of the content, the people. Like
Yeah.
I saw not that long ago, like where um this one chick, she had OnlyFans and she had this one guy that was just following her around all the time. And like ended up finding out like where she was and like kind of shit like that. Like that's fucking scary. Because
So,
at least like at strip clubs and stuff, you have like bouncers, you have like these people.
mm,
Now there is a lot of shit that happens, right? But you have people trying to prevent that. When it's one-on-one
well,
interaction with
it
somebody,
is much
that's scary.
scarier at a strip club. Trust
No,
me.
I'm sure,
Because a
but
couple
I
of
don't know
reasons for
that.
that is number one, everything's localized, right? So every single
Yeah,
person you're seeing in your shift as a stripper
yeah, on
is
that end,
somebody who lives
absolutely,
close, right? And it doesn't take them
right?
much to just wait until after work and follow your ass home, right?
Yeah,
So at the same time, I get what you're
I
saying that
agree on
it
that.
is very scary as well when you're on the internet. But a lot of these OnlyFans models, both male and female, again, are taking very careful steps of never showing
No,
their
yeah,
face, for one. Never, obviously, they're never giving their addresses, or a lot of them are not giving
right.
their real names, things like that. I am by no means a popular OnlyFans model, but I have been a full time content creator and streamer since 2018, and it is very important that I never tell what town I live in, never mind my address,
Yeah,
because I mean, I have been stalked. You would not believe this, Katie. I have been stalked. I am a 47-year-old fat guy with a freaking salt and pepper beard, and for 5 years I've been stalked by the same people. I will just say that. So yes, it is very scary. And again,
yeah.
and that's just me,
I just,
who's
I
nobody.
feel like I don't know. I feel like what gets me on like one or the other, you never know what's on the other side of the phone.
That's right.
Like you can have, especially like with these people with weird ass fetishes and shit,
Mm-hmm.
like girls that look like barely teenagers. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's gross. I'm sorry, because we all
Absolutely.
know like these 70-year-old men are out here.
Mm-hmm.
That's what gets me on
And
that
that's
shit.
leading to
Especially with the
trafficking shit, right? Human trafficking is because of that. That's a major reason. Is because of men wanting to see young women, child
and now
pornography, shit like that.
and now it
Yes.
feels more like, at least at a strip club, when you go to a strip club, there's other people there. There's other people that are going to see you, like in your town or whatever.
Right.
Here,
Yep.
like, that's what's freaky about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Like, I could never. Like, I could never.
Have you ever seen the
And,
TV show Heroes?
mm-mm,
Well, one of the characters on there is essentially doing stuff like an OnlyFans kind of thing,
mm-hmm.
and she gets found out. Like somebody shows up, essentially, and so that's just a microcosm of what some of these girls and guys deal with.
And that's
It
just,
is terrifying, absolutely.
I think that's what gets me the most, like, on the difference. Is that, I mean, God, not only that, like at a strip club, there's gonna be like a certain amount of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is like millions and millions of people a lot of time. Like, I'm not saying, but apparently this chick had a shit ton of people and like was making a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
So you have, I don't know, it's just like on one side I'm like, oh, I bet some hot lesbians are looking at me, or I bet some, kind of thing. Like you think about it, it's like you think about the good things, but then I'm like over here, I'm like, I know a majority of the people that are gonna be looking at my shit are gonna be nasty old men
Yep.
or nasty frat boys that are probably gonna be school shooters.
Well, essentially,
You know what I mean?
what this is a
Like that's what
battle
I think of.
between is the battle is between employers' rights to hire who they want, right, and freedom of speech slash expression of an employee. And so, for me as an American, I believe both sides have rights in this.
Oh yeah,
And so
absolutely.
this is a very sticky thing. I believe as long as someone is not being discriminated against because of race, creed, sexual orientation, nationality, etc., as long as an employer is not discriminating based on that, they should be able to hire whoever they want. Um, at the same time, I don't think somebody's OnlyFans career or account um, should be grounds for termination.
I agree. Like I said, everyone can keep their nose where it fucking belongs. If it wasn't for phones back in the day, you would have never known. And I mean, like who cares?
It just,
Like, you can be
for
like,
me,
protect the children.
if you're doing a
But
good
like you
job,
said,
and your merits within your profession are good, that should be enough, right?
yeah. And I mean, literally, like, man, I've thought about it a lot, but I'm like, I could never, I can't, because I know how much money people fucking make off of it. And I will say though, like it does, like my generation, I do see like a lot of people like just doing it
Mm-hmm.
because they don't want to do anything else and they don't want to improve themselves or like grow as a human being. I will say that sucks. I hate that I don't know, like I'm not trying to say there's anything bad or good about it. I think it feels way too accessible. It really does. It feels like I don't like it's a whole thing. Like there should be a like porn award show.
Mm-hmm.
Like you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like it's that big and that just makes the problem so much worse. You know what I mean? Cuz I don't think it's healthy necessarily like for your mental health or like I mean it can be but for a lot of people it ends up not being,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
And how accessible it is makes it a lot worse and I don't know, I feel like a lot of people just do it and like don't even think about it either. Like
Well,
it's like something major you're doing.
it goes
You know what
back
I
to
mean?
the philosophy that sex sells, right? And it always will.
And it's
Um,
unfortunate.
it is unfortunate, but at the same time, right? If you can flaunt it, flaunt it. If you can make a life out of
Mm,
it, then make a life out of it, right? Like
for sure.
when I was younger, I knew of a few people who were putting themselves through college just by stripping,
Oh yeah, I know a few.
you know. And I mean, that's what this is to me. It's the same concept. Um,
Hmm.
I don't know, man. I just feel like I think the stigma is too much focused on education, right?
Yeah,
Like
that I agree on that.
you can't be an OnlyFans model and teach children, and I disagree fully.
It's always protect the children.
And yet, you look at the same kind of thing, and this is happening a lot too, Katie. It's a completely different subject, but it's kind of swept under the rug more than OnlyFans. Is all of these teachers, many of them female in nature, that are targeting children and having sex with them. How many times have you seen this? Where you have a gorgeous or good looking woman who is a
A
teacher
lot.
who is having a sexual relationship with a fourth grader or a seventh grader or a ninth grader. And then the predominant freaking opinion out there, especially from straight white cisgendered men, is wow,
Go get them,
go
brother.
get him, brother. Oh, I wish I could get someone like that, right? Like, it's like, oh, she's so pretty. No, she's a goddamn pedophile, is what she is.
And unfortunately, like
But
that's probably how those kids feel. But then as they grow older and look at it, they're gonna be disgusted,
so those
and
kids
that
are
the bitches
traumatized
are gonna be the
just
responsible.
as much as any other child that is predatored on. They're all
Mhm.
traumatized. I don't care. Like, oh, you have a good-looking teacher you had sex with,
It
and
might
you're.
take you a while to realize it, but it's gonna fuck
But
you
my
up at some
point
point.
is we're throwing these OnlyFans models under the bus, and yet these good-looking teachers who are targeting children to have sexual relations with are just passed off like it's normal, right?
I also feel like those are like you said. So both of those things you see a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's why. Maybe they're trying to
Yeah.
link the two. I don't
Man,
know.
it just drives me nuts. Like the double standard, where it's okay, and I've heard this, and I know you have too, because like we're following this stuff. It's okay for a good-looking young female teacher to target and prey
Yeah.
on a young child in a sexual nature, but it's completely not okay for a guy teacher to do the same thing. And then you put that onto OnlyFans as well. It's not okay for a female teacher to be an OnlyFans model. Completely okay for a male teacher to be an OnlyFans model. What
Mhm.
is this? Why is this? Why are we allowing this double standard, man?
It's really really weird.
Yeah.
It's pretty sad.
I mean,
All of
I
it.
was always told that, you protect the children, you protect all the children from all predators. Doesn't matter who
Yep.
they are or what they look like. It
Yep.
doesn't matter, period. Like, I don't know, man.
And what people need to realize when we say protect the children, protect your children,
Hmm.
right? Your
I
children.
mean, I look at it like
Let
this,
everyone else
bro.
worry about
Like,
their.
if you are the parent of a 7th grade boy and you found out that his biology teacher, who's a 34-year-old female, is having sex with your 7th grade boy, and you're okay with that, then you need to go to prison along with the teacher.
Maybe longer.
Yeah. I'm a parent, I'm a grandparent. I would not be okay with that. Absolutely not. That is not
I
something I'm bragging about with my guy friends at the Super Bowl party. It's not something that I'm doing. But it exists. That exists out there. Like, that's just
and it's
disgusting to
very
me.
unfortunate too that it's not acknowledged a
It is.
lot.
I agree.
That boys or men can be victims too,
Yeah, and
and women can
well,
be perpetrators.
it goes back to the double standard. Again, I'm using
Yep.
those words a lot. The double standard of a lot of sexual partners for a guy is a thing to brag about, but a lot of
Mhm.
sexual partners for a girl, and she's a slut and a whore and
Yeah.
all of those things. The double standard is absolutely disgusting, and
Yeah.
if it's just gross, bro. And it goes back to misogyny, right? It has to. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I only
We
get
just
this mad because I have daughters, right? Like, and like it actually pisses me off.
piss me off too.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, yeah. How do you guys feel out there about everything we've just talked about? How do you feel about the double standards between males and females? And what can we do to correct those things? How do you feel about OnlyFans models and even people that are not modeling on there, people that are actually making porn on there? Do you feel like they should be okay to work wherever the hell they want? Is that freedom of expression or not?
Mhm.
Right? How much justification does the employer have to decide what you and others do outside of work? That's
These are the
real.
questions.
Those are the questions. Comment down below how you feel about that. In the meantime, episode 17 has come to an end. Again, we are live on Twitch. So if you guys are wanting to know how to find us in live format, we are going to be live each and every Monday on the Boston Chris Show Twitch. And that's how you can find it, just the Boston Chris Show. We are on all social medias, as is Kadie. You can find Kadie's website at kadielynn.com. She'll have all of her all of her Instagram and Twitter and everything over there, Facebook. So you guys make sure you're following along with her as well. And of course, we have our all new Boston Chris Show newsletter. If you'd like to be a part of that, you can just use the email address right above me. Send me your email address, and I will add you to our thrice weekly newsletter. We are going to be sending out an email 3 times a week to start with. It may end up going down to once a week, but I'm worried that might be a little too convoluted. But we'll find out. What are you working on right now?
Oh, aren't we gonna hang out a little bit after for the
We will,
stream?
absolutely. So yeah,
You played me
guys.
a song last week. I'm next.
All right. So episode 17 is in the books, guys. Thanks for watching. We will catch you guys down the road. Make sure you hit the like button wherever you are, wherever you are. Follow, subscribe, etc., etc., and we will catch you down the road.